Hi, welcome to Business Time. I am Melisha. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. Today we will be looking at conflict. We're going to be looking at the potential sources of conflict within an organization and the strategies for the resolution of conflict within an organization. So let's begin. Conflict. You may be wondering, what is conflict? Well, conflict is when there are disagreements between two or more parties. And guess what? Very often, these conflicts lead to unpleasant situations. Now, let's look a little deeper into conflict. What are some potential sources of conflict within an organization? The first one, poor working conditions or environment. Now, workers will be in conflict with managers if they do not have proper tools or resources to work with. This can cause some workers to be very miserable, and demotivated to work. A second source of conflict or cause of conflict is unfair treatment. No, you have some situations where employers or managers will treat some workers better than some, whether it be because of the color of their skin, who they are, where they're coming from, their background, who knows? But this can cause conflict, and some workers will protest. Yes, they will not do their best, they will not necessarily, try to help and do everything that's possible to do their job well. A third one is poor communication. Now listen, if there is no good communication, there can be misunderstanding, which can lead to work not being done at the time that it's supposed to be done, or just not being done properly. These are some of the things that can happen because of poor communication. Another source of conflict is competition for scarce resources. We know that there are always limited resources, and this can result in employees feeling they have to compete for these, which can result in conflict. There may not be enough, for example, whiteboard markers for teachers to get, and so you may have some persons, who may take more than the allotted amount, and this will cause other teachers to not get what they are supposed to get, and this can lead to argument, quarrel at the workplace, right? So competition for scarce resources is a source of conflict. Another one is poor management. The worst thing that can happen is to have a leader who is incapable of properly running an organization. If workers have to wonder who really is the manager, this can cause serious conflict and chaos in the workplace, I tell you. Now, the final source that we're going to be looking at is that employees feeling that they are not paid fairly. And so this can cause conflict, if persons are feeling that they are being cheated on their pay. Definitely workers are going to have a serious issue with this problem. Let's now look at some strategies for the resolution of conflict within an organization. Listen, conflicts need to be resolved, right? For there to be teamwork, for there to be good cohesiveness amongst workers and the employers or managers. Conflicts need to be dealt with, all right? So let's look at the first strategy for resolving conflicts, mediation. Now, this is when a third party comes in to help resolve the issue. One thing that you must take note of is that the parties involved in the conflict do not have to accept the recommendation of the third party or the mediator. Another resolution for conflict is arbitration. Now, this is when a third party, also called the arbitrator, steps in to help resolve the issue. Unlike in mediation, both parties have to accept what the arbitrator recommends. Yes, what the arbitrator says must go. Okay. Another strategy for resolving conflict is trade union representation. Now, trade unions are there to represent the interest of workers and to see to it that employers or managers do not infringe upon the rights of employees. They need to sit at the negotiation table very often with management, right? To ensure that whatever issues there are, it can be resolved so that employees can benefit. For example, when it comes to salary, that's a key one where workers need trade union representation. Another strategy is compromise. Both parties giving up something in order to resolve a conflict so that more can be achieved or unity be present than what would have been lost with the conflict. Another strategy is accommodation. Yes, and so this is where one party allows the other party to do what he or she wanted. And sometimes this can be done because if your idea or suggestion is not implemented, if another suggestion or idea is implemented, it doesn't mean that things will go badly. So sometimes to resolve conflict, one party needs to just step back a little and allow the others to get done what they want to get done for peace sake. All right. So that is it for potential sources of conflict and strategies for the resolution of conflict within an organization. Hope you learned something. See you next time.